Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Cho Manno, also known as the Good Rebel. Well, besides Lynn City, but anyway. Cho Manno, Mercadian Mask reprinted 10th edition. Actually, 10th edition, they did something I didn't think they would have done. But anyway, Cho Manno is pretty awesome. 4 mana 2/2 that can't take damage. That is pretty sweet. Now, there's a few cards that say damage can't be prevented and whatnot, but those are, few and far between. Cho Manno's amazing, and I did something with him I don't normally do. You're looking at the only creature in the deck. There is no other creatures in this deck. It is just Cho Manno. Um, I don't know. I just had a hankering for a creatureless deck. But before we get any further, there's certain cards you've got to play with Cho Manno. Pariah's Shield. You can put all damage done to you onto that creature, and of course he can't take damage. So hey, you never take damage anymore. The Pariah Shield is actually the equipment version of Pariah. So naturally, when I went to build Cho Manno, I was like, I got to have those two cards. And then I really didn't know where to go with it from that. And I was like, you know what? Let's try Creatureless. Yeah. So to do Creatureless, once I was dedicated to that, I said, you know what? We're going to have some board wipes. So I put a few in. Wrath of God. Push this down a little bit. Hollow Burial. Mass Calcify. Fell the Mighty. It's kind of decent. End Hostilities. Hour of Revelation. Chroma's Vengeance. Phyrexian Rebirth. Planar Outburst. Winds of Wrath is particularly good because, more than likely Cho Manno's going to have that enchantment on him. Rout. Terminus. Catastrophe. And the last board. That's a lot of board wipes. I ain't going to lie. That's a whole lot. But I specifically ended with Planar Collapse here because I was like, all right, so I've got Planar Collapse and I've got Pariah. Let's do an enchantment theme. So we're mono white. So let's go with, Sigil of the Empty Throne. This is a good card. I love it. They've printed it a million times. But it's one of those cards that's just, I think, kind of overlooked at our format. So I said, well, if I'm going to play with Sigil of the Empty Throne, might as well play with Luminarch Ascension too, because this thing is ridiculous in multiplayer. More times than not, and I know y'all can probably attest to this too, more times than not, you cast it, and then on your next turn, you can actually start making angels. Because if you get lucky enough to turn 2 this Joker, man, that's good clean living right there. And then, of course, Anointed Procession, have to with any token deck. Now, I kind of have my enchantments in categories here. So let's look at the removal category. Of course, we have Prison Term, which is really good because you get to move it. Suspension Field. It's a really gorgeous foil, by the way. Arrest. Stasis Snare. Pacifism. Banishing Light. Now, I've got Seal of Cleansing in there as opposed to Disenchant because we're enchantment themed, and I view this as a sorcery speed naturalize that also puts a 4/4 angel into play. That's how I have to think of it. Now, Consulate Crackdown is just it's what your artifact players don't want to see. Really is. Then I also got a couple like Nevermore. Now, Nevermore is I don't know that I've ever cast this card that I haven't chosen Cyclonic Rift because it's especially for this deck with tokens. Cyclonic Rift is just a beating and a half. And cool Cyclonic Rift story. Y'all know I go to a buddy's house. He hosts EDH on Friday nights. Appreciate it, Jimmy. And I come up with just accidentally, I cracked the memory jar and drew into the Cyclonic Rift. I Cyclonic Rifted into the turn, so everything that was in their hand got discarded, including everything that was in play. It was sweet. Well, it was Teferi, so I don't know how sweet it was. That was pretty much the coup de grace. And then I also have Gideon's Intervention. Now this is amazing for the Voltron decks if you're playing against them because, yeah, they can't cast it, but so what? If Earl's already out there, but you know what? You still can't take damage from Earl. Pointed to somebody else, dude. Not me. Have our story circle. I thought hard about doing the 7 circles, the colors, artifacts, and lands, but that's just a little too real life story circle. It's kind of whatever you need at the time. Aura of Silence. Apparently, we are hating on some artifacts and enchantments our opponents play. Ghostly Prison, I was able to get last night from my buddy Danny, along with the tutor in here. Appreciate it, Danny. And Sphere of Safety, because, what? This is the ultimate Ghostly Prison, in this deck anyway, because we've got so much stuff. Now, so we're getting, what are we getting here? 4/4 Angels? 4/4 Angels. So, Kismet blanks Haste. That's and under certain scenarios, of course, obviously we're not playing with Stasis, but it's a great card for it. So let's go through the Crusade type things. Crusade. I love it because technically when you cast Crusade, you get a 5/5 Angel. Pretty sweet. Well, assuming you do it after the Angel Maker. We have the Dictate of Heliod to give it +2. We have Intangible Virtue because, another +1 and Vigilance. Hey. Honor of the Pure. We have Sarah Aviary. By the way, folks, this is what a reserve list card looks like. Can you believe it? Homelands. Reserve list. Yeah. Armored Ascension, because sometimes you just got to get in there with Cho Manno. Ethereal Armor is probably going to act a lot like the Armored Ascension. Sigarda's Aid. It'll let your auras be super fast, but not like your regular enchantments. I love Duelist Heritage. This may be the first deck I've ever put it in, but just to have a creature gain double strike, this seems really, really good. Angelic Accord. I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit. I think I'm running out of memory. Entangler. Indestructibility. Unquestioned Authority is another way to get in there. Blind Obedience. Brave the Sands. And Poparov Nodes. The white drop of honey. We got some ramp in, of course, the Power Stone, Felwar Stone, Soul Ring, Marble Diamond, and Mind Stone. Now, our non-enchantment stuff. Of course, we're going to have the 2 tutors, the Enlightened Tutor and the Plea for Guidance. The Argivian Find to pull them back, as well as the Mine Excavation. STP, Crib Swap is just pretty much for spot removal. And, of course, Brave the Elements. Only cool land I have is Seraph Sanctuary. All the rest of them, you know what they are: the cycles, the temples, and the passage. But anyway, that is what I have got for Cho Manno, Creatureless. I do hope you like it. Tell me what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.